Happy Bad News Monday, more AI news! As another AI feature film is in production, and once again, from a European studio. And the background of this thing is just weird, with Afghanistan and the French government being part of the story here. Alright. Also, once again, based on the success of AI preschool content, which is becoming scarily more common. Because you can always get away with AI animation when it's an audience too young to know any different. Generation Beta. Truly, we are in the era already of disregarding any sense of moral responsibility whatsoever. Let the algorithm educate the kids. Nothing can possibly go wrong with that. This is the Fuzzlets. A group of AI-generated monsters who teach kids, and here comes the genuine official description, about emotions, friendship, and sharing. Not even more basic 1, 2, 3s and ABCs, we're seeing content with little human involvement whatsoever, educating children on human emotional growth. Somehow, artificial intelligence is being used to teach kids emotional intelligence. I've said before how worrying it is that preschool content has been the first end of the industry to really normalize AI animation. Surely the robots now teaching toddlers how to feel should spell out that that is a problem. And it's not some underground project either. These fluffy guys have racked up 195 million YouTube views. And weirdest still, apparently has been achieved with essentially nothing spent on marketing. And their popularity has been noted as apparently a movie is on the way featuring the little Fuzzlets. Or as their creator likes to call them, the first fully AI native animation ecosystem for kids and families. They always use these organic and natural sounding words like native and ecosystem, don't they? Neural pipeline, kind of. Always something to make you chuckle with existential dread, considering AI usage has been proven to be damaging real ecosystems. But yes, this ecosystem will be blessing the cinema in the coming years in an LA French co-production. And the fact that its premise is the same copy and paste story of the goddamn Playmobil movie should not fill anyone with any confidence. And it's not only what the premise is, but it's how it's been written. Because even just that feels generated rather than written. And worse still, feels like an AI almost mocking us for what it's actually doing to our society. This film will follow 4 children pulled from Earth into a realm where joy and color are draining away. Yeah, that's on the money. Each child embodiments an emotional trait, courage, creativity, empathy, and wisdom, and must face a deeply personal trial to restore balance, so they say. Again, doesn't actually feel like a human actually wrote this. It continues. Alongside them are Fuzzy and Perp, 2 Fuzzlet brothers searching for their lost family. So already, despite these supposedly incredible AI Fuzzlet characters, before this movie's even begun production, the Fuzzlets have already been predestined to be sidelined in their own movie for human characters. It's like they wrote dependable, uninspired family movie formula into a prompter. Just to prove that AI cannot create anything original, here's a premise we've seen thousands of kids' movies do already, including the aforementioned Playmobil movie. Also, simplifying each child to a basic 1 emotion feels like something you secretly decide in the writer's room and hope no one notices in the finished product. Putting it in the press release feels like they've just said the quiet part out loud. Like, who are these kids? The 7 dwarfs? We have the wise one, the creative one, the kind one, and the brave one. Again, this is their pitch for the next generation of family entertainment. They basically just gave us the thing they're going to type in to generate the script, and nothing else. The idea behind having the human children in there is apparently to see themselves in the story, which, despite being a pretty common technique in kids' media, they still manage to make sound manipulative and sinister. When a child sees themselves inside a story, the psychology changes. It stops being entertainment and becomes recognition. Why'd you have to phrase it like that? So that's the game now. Using AI to influence children's psychology. Again, this is really happening. And yes, there are absolutely wealthy tech bros backing this. Amongst the culprits are Pocket Watch's Chris Williams, A16's Games, A16Z games? A16Z games? Xavier Neal, and Mistral AI's JC Samuelian, who I'm sure are a completely morally sound group of organizations. As for the creatives behind this, you have Yumna Chamcha, who previously co-created, starred in, and produced Mini Studio, one of the MENA region's longest-running kids' TV franchises, and built Live Love, a 17 million strong digital community, alongside Marcella Rica, an education and behavioral scientist specialist, that's a worrying accolade on the side of this, and Fabrice Najari, a former tech advisor to the French presidency and an Emmy-nominated storyteller who worked in Afghanistan. Do you get all that? Just a hot pot of, I don't know, AI Avengers, I guess. Now, at least focusing on just Mini Studio, this was a popular Lebanese kids program launched in the early 1990s, which Cham Cham worked on. And now it seems to be the name of the studio really running things here. Mini, because this was the only property they launched with. But also, Mini because they have stated that they can produce fully animated episodes in 3 weeks with a team of 6 people. So, minimal efforts. 2 weeks of storyboarding, 1 week of animation and post-production. One singular week of animation. Hey there, thank you for making it to the halfway mark of this video. Come subscribe if you haven't already for more AI animation news. It'll typically be bad, but if there is ever good news that something's being blocked, I'll probably talk about that too. It's a new, unfortunate, mandatory series we're going to be running all through 2026. Every Monday, there'll be some news to cover, I'm sure. So join along if you're interested in keeping in the know. But otherwise, let's get back to the second half of Fuzzlets, of all things. Am I wrong in guessing they literally just hand over the storyboard to the AI and let it get on with it? And just to stay in the usual AI is good playbook, Mini Studio compare themselves to Bluey's production just to score some points. Specifically pointing out how an episode of shows like Bluey typically require teams of dozens and several months of production. Ugh. And painting that as a bad thing. Again, saying the quiet part out loud, this is very much a quantity over quality thing. Suggesting that this absolute slop can match, as they put it, premium preschool content like Bluey. You know, the one preschool show that has been celebrated for actually considering the adult viewer watching it with the kids, and they're suggesting the damn Fuzzlets are one in the same. And I'm sure we can all just say from the shuffled footage behind me, no, what adult is going to benefit from watching this too? But they have the big ambitions for the Fuzzlets IP, as this isn't even being directly called the Fuzzlets movie, it is instead being viewed as an expansion of the wider Fuzzlet universe set in the realm of it called Sunhaven. Alas, the current working title is Sunhaven and the Sun Keepers, because using sun in the title once just wasn't enough. Imagine trying to kick off your AI preschool cinematic universe, what a sentence for 2026, with a movie that sounds like a failed band from the 60s. But that's what they're doing. What stands out to me is how both this and the other European-produced AI film we previously covered, that being the open AI-backed Critters, is how they've both gone from this ambiguous monsters approach. It's almost like they're avoiding having to replicate any real creatures we'd recognize, as we'd be able to tell then that something was wrong. I mean, hey, Coke's Christmas ad from last year could only really sustain its animal shots for a few seconds. So of course they want to pull us far away from anything recognizable and instead give us the straight middle-of-the-road AI monster look, which even then just leaves you feeling like something's missing from what you're looking at. And it doesn't end there, as Mini Studio are also looking to expand the Fuzzlets IP into a merchandising line, of course, including soundbooks and plush toys. That's where the real money is. And just to get one final sinister message out there, Mini Studios say that their long-term vision is to build a world where every child can be part of the stories they love, whether they're alongside a Fuzzlet or future iconic IP partners. The message is always, you belong. You hear that, kids? You belong to the algorithm. I just can't help but find it so morally bankrupt that preschool entertainment is the first place that AI has been so blatantly implemented, going for the audience who don't know enough to speak out against it. There's major pushbacks from older demographics, and we know that brain rot like Cocomelon's made a fortune in this market. So we'll just go straight to the next generation before they even know better. it's just as lazy as it is manipulative. It feels like this franchise wants kids to have their first lessons about basic human emotion and morals with minimal human involvement. Even with the long-standing child-friendly brands like Disney are themselves investing in AI software, which will inevitably find its way to this demographic. Before you know it, kids won't be watching Frozen anymore, they'll just be talking to the AI interface of Elsa or Olaf instead. I just can't believe we're already here. And the only real chance to go against it is if parents are actually aware and push back themselves. But judging by the generation of Cocomelon parents, I haven't got the best hopes right now. Crazy that pre-2020 babies were the last generation to grow up without AI, and the landscape has already changed so much. And of course, another big part of that is anyone in the position to do something about it are failing to regulate it in any way. I mean, there are a few more serious examples of AI restrictions that are being acted on at the moment. God, I take a holiday for the beginning of January, and some of the craziest AI developments have happened in the background. I'm not gonna make a dedicated video on Grok AI, no, but Jesus Christ. But I would wager that further down the pile, there should at least be a conversation about the levels of AI already present in the preschool market. And it's not like these conversations are impossible either. Over here in the UK, we have all sorts of restrictions on what you can aim at children, such as anything fast food and unhealthy is banned in adverts here in the UK. So in some sense, it is plausible for governments to block AI productions aimed at children, just like there are commercials not allowed to be aimed at children. We'll see. Maybe it's something not on anyone's radar for another 5 years. How damaging 5 years can be. Or one. Because do we really want future generations having their first point of entertainment and early learning being completely devoid of human creativity or involvement at all? No, it's just so gross. But it's only early days, just the very start of 2026, and then we're likely probably going to go through a lot of bad first. I have hopes that at least there'll be a light at the end of the tunnel, where eventually something will change and stop and regulate. Once more eyes find it and actually start complaining about it. And I'll happily be the first megaphone to talk about it. But anyway, that was Mini Studios' The Fuzzlets AI movie, coming soon to a platform near you under the name Sunhaven and the Sunkeepers. Hey, I guess the AI must have done the marketing too, because that's pretty sloppy and terrible as well. Maybe it'll just flop out of terrible choices anyway. We can only dream. For now, though, my name's been Dazz. Thank you very much for reaching the end of this video. Do tell us your thoughts on AI puzzles and fuzzlets. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and more, or any murmurs on how you think this kind of thing can be regulated. And I shall see you all in a little bit. Cheerio!